Rice provides daily food and a source of income to millions of Africans. Rice requires large amounts of nutrients. It gets these from the soil and from organic and mineral fertilizers. Nitrogen is by far the most vital nutrient for rice. It gives the stems and leaves a healthy green color and stimulates the plant to produce tillers and also produce panicles and to fill the grains. Most rice soils do not have enough nitrogen to support adequate rice yields, so adding a mineral fertilizer like urea is needed. When urea is surface broadcast in floodwater, it dissolves easily and the nitrogen is quickly out of reach of the plants. Simply put, about 2 out of every 3 bags of urea broadcast in this way are not available to the crop. During the rainy season, water sometimes drains from our fields. It runs and can enter into some of the wells. If at that time you've broadcast fertilizer and the water takes it, we ourselves will drink this water. It can cause diseases. With the increasing cost of mineral fertilizer and the inefficient application of nitrogen, farmers lose a lot of money. One ingenious way to overcome this is deep placement of urea supergranules. Supergranules are made by pressing the powdered dry urea using a briquetting machine. If you want to know more about this machine, ask your extension officer or local IFDC office. Urea deep placement involves putting urea supergranules, each weighing 1 to 3 grams, at 7 centimeters depth, a week after the paddy is transplanted. But don't worry, you do not need to place a granule for each plant. If you transplant in lines, keeping a distance of 20 centimeters between plants, deep place 1 granule per 4 plants. If I want to place a granule, I press 1 down. With each step, I skip 1 plant. If I take a step, that makes 40 centimeters. I place a granule and I continue. Once I've finished a line, I skip 1 line and I continue. I do the same when coming back. Even if you use other distances within lines, or if you transplant at random, always keep a distance of 40 centimeters between granules. Each granule diffuses nitrogen roughly within a 20 centimeter radius. To fully understand its benefits, let us look at the solubility of urea in water. As we said, urea is highly soluble. So what happens when it's pressed into supergranules? We can show this through a simple experiment. In the bottle on the left, we put normal urea. In the bottle on the right, we put urea supergranules. As you can see, they dissolve more slowly in water. So what does this mean? If you place a granule and you close the hole, even if it rains at night and your field is flooded, when the water withdraws, you don't need to hurry to apply another fertilizer. Your fertilizer will still be there in the soil. It has gone nowhere. But with our old method, when you broadcast, the next day your fertilizer is gone with the drainage water. So while you can broadcast urea 2 or 3 times, supergranules are applied only once, a week after transplanting. By placing urea supergranules, nitrogen is released slowly. Most of the nitrogen stays in the soil, close to the plant roots, where it's absorbed more effectively. If you press down a granule in the soil and close it, the sun cannot hit it. Even in water, the water cannot reach it, and the air will not be able to take it away as gas. So we put it in the soil. Another advantage of urea deep placement is that the nitrogen is absorbed by the roots of your crop only. Weeds do not benefit from the applied urea, and as your crop establishes faster, it further suppresses weeds. When the rice is newly planted, the roots are cut. If you broadcast urea at this time, weeds will use the fertilizer before the rice has roots. When the plant starts to need fertilizer, the strength of the fertilizer is over. But if you put it in the ground and close it, the roots of rice grow at the same time when the fertilizer is released. So it decreases the strength of weeds and the rice grows best. You can imagine how this reduces the workload for weeding. When you broadcast fertilizer, there'll be plenty of weeds, and you will have to weed twice. But the supergranules do not favor weeds to grow, so you weed once only. Most importantly, farmers who use this technique harvest more rice compared to the past, when they broadcast urea. We observe, for instance, that if you harvested before 4 tons per hectare, if you put the urea supergranule, you'll get a difference of about 1 ton to 1.5 ton more. You can harvest 5.5 tons. And they do so with only half the amount of urea, as explained by the president of the Union of Cooperatives of Ku Valley in Burkina Faso. Instead of applying 8 bags per hectare, we only use 3 to 4 bags per hectare, once and for all, and that's it. So it allows producers to reduce production costs. Having observed the benefits in rice, some women in Niger have begun to apply the granules in their vegetable fields. Let's listen to Hadissa Hamidou from Daliberi village in Niger.
Tokanga katangara anachebesi. Aina se wala ashin keino makoida ayangara ay la farora. Ane se gageino.
When my husband brought the granules, he showed me, and I asked him to give me some for my field. He said he will give me, but that it's not a fertilizer to broadcast, and that it must be buried. I dug, I put the fertilizer, and asked him to come and see. He closed the hole and said I should continue. I think the fertilizer we bury is better than the one we broadcast, because the fruits of okra are not alike. The fact that you dig and put it at the roots of the plant makes that crop benefit more. This sounds too good to be true. So is it all that positive? Well, of course, as always, every technology has its challenges. Some farmers consider urea deep placement as time-consuming and hard work. Pushing down the supergranules is obviously easier in soft soils that have enough clay, and when the land is properly ploughed and kept soft. At first, we place cups or plastic buckets with granules at a specific place. We remove some granules to try to bury them in the soil. At times when you remove them, water entered and they became wet. Now we fix bags around our waist. You take the granules with one hand and you drop them one at a time into the other hand to bury them. You no longer have to move each time to pick up the fertilizer. When there's a shortage of labour, some farmers in Niger cleverly got together to carry out the task and sell their services. I've seen the benefits at the time of harvest. That's why I work with 2 other people to place the granules. We're a team. Once we finish with our own fields, we work for others. For 1/4 of a hectare, they give us 5,000 francs. Let's summarize what we've learned. With urea deep placement, less nitrogen is lost. There's less pollution of water and less weed growth. Compared with broadcasting, by deep placing granules, you can harvest about 1 ton more with only half the amount of urea. Always keep a distance of 40 centimeters between the granules, as one granule releases its nitrogen in a radius of 20 centimeters. In fact, what we producers want is to save time and produce a lot. If we produce a lot, we make more money, and it allows us to improve our living conditions.